Good morning, investors. Welcome to the 11th of November 2014 market review. The trade for today is called Exxaro, code is EXX, and the last traded price is R118.65. The action here is a long or buy. Objective is to buy from the blue line to go to the green line upwards. So the entry level will be R117.74 on the blue line, and your target will be R123.65. Stop loss to be used on this trade is the red line here, and that is R115.77. The current open trades at this moment is called Impala and Standard Bank. Closed trades yesterday was 10 November. There were Sanlam and Shoprite, both of them were closed trades. Looking at the top 40 index, that's the top 40 shares on the JSE. And you can see that basically the blue line is the index movement, still trading above the dotted blue line of the 5-day moving average and the dotted grey line of the 20-day moving average as well. Looking at the Dow Jones Industrials, this is the American stock market Dow Jones, tested new highs, broke new highs yesterday for Monday evening, traded 39 points positive on a level of 17,613 points. It's close to this red line here. Also breaking highs, the S&P 500 closed 6 points higher on 2,038 points. As you can see, trading above the green line of the Bollinger Bands and testing the top of the red of the Bollinger Bands. Still in a positive movement and breaking all-time highs at this stage. The expectation is that it could actually go a bit higher during the course of the month of November. Looking at the J200, that's the top 40 shares on the JSE. Low, high, low, high, low, high, low, higher. Tested as 40,161 points. Currently about the futures are showing a bit of positiveness for this morning, about 180 points positive. The US futures are currently very flat with the European futures due to this highs that was tested as well. Gold is trading at $1,152 per barrel, per ounce, and your rand and dollar is sitting at 11.27, quite high. Looking at some retailer shares, went from the 160 levels a bit higher, closed on a level of 164.29, coming close to this level is about 168. That's 166, 170, 167 on the top there. Still in a positive channel between the green and the red, showing a bit of a movement more higher that's due. Looking at your Mr. Price, also went back from this lows, almost came close to the 23.6% on the Fibonacci's. Still trading between the green and the red line positive. Highs to be tested at 250.48. You've broken, that's a new high for the specific share as well. And the expectations go back to this levels of the 240s much higher if it breaks it high. Looking at your Willies. Now Willies is doing the same bounce on the 23.6%. Broke a bit higher. Now what you need to do in this situation here, shares trading at 78.39, need to wait to break this 80 rand to go higher, or use that 77 rand as basically as indication if you want to break lower. But the share is still trading in a positive cycle between the Bollinger Bands of the green and the red line in a positive channel. Looking at your Barclays Bank, your financial sector, came down from the highs of about 175, came to the levels here close to the 169s, and it bounced back closing at 173. Again, you need to do the following, use that as a high level and this is a low level on the indications, but the share is still trading in a positive channel. Testing previous highs of September and November, beginning of November also tested at highs again. So the big question is, can you break this highs and go higher? Standard Bank tested this middle of the green of the Bollinger Band, went to the high points, tested the previous highs of 140, currently trading at 134. As you can see, there's the lows, there's the highs, there's the lows, getting much smaller. So what you can do is, I'm just going to do this for you. and this is now the big question. Will this be a break up or a bit of a support happening on this specific trade here? So look at this pattern here. So we're going to zoom in, and you can basically see the momentum is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. The big question is, can you break to 135 and bounce back to the 140s, or can you break to 132 and go back to the 150s? So keep it close trade on this share, but it's still testing this middle green line on the Bollinger Bands. Looking at your MTNs, MTN started to move a bit up after momentum of last week were down. Close to the 228 of yesterday, now close to the 250 rand levels on the sideways pattern here. We need to see if bargain hunters will start coming in, try to push it up again. Vodacom. Now Vodacom lost due to results, and you can basically see the same thing happened with MTN with this downward last week on the data that came through. If you go back to Vodacom, same thing happened, broke to 23.6%, fell definitely down to the 61.8%, and that is the current support at this moment. Broke the middle of the green line as well, so definitely share came back to the 127.50. Need to see if it can stabilize there or just get close to the 125, but there was the double top we spoke about. Looking at Imperial. Now Imperial is still in the positive channel going upwards, testing this 23.6%, and it's testing this middle of the Bollinger Band as well. So the big question here, after this double top, there's kind of a shoulders there or support. If you can break the 23% or the green line on the Bollinger Band, definitely can go back to this lows here. So 184 is going to be a low, and it could go back to the 175s, but it's still trading in a positive channel, so there's no indication as yet that this one will actually break through as yet. It's trading between the green and the red channel upwards, and the next high to be tested is 190, even if the share is trading at 186.50. CFR. Now CFR did very well, so what I'm going to do here right now, I can actually go and call up a short term Fibonacci using this lows to this highs here. Now I'm going to plot it there. Now I just want to show you something that I've picked up while looking at this chart. I'm going to use a purple line, and look at this. So this share is basically testing a very important level on this channel. Look at this small downward channel going down. It did break up, testing that high of the channel. So now the big question will be, and this is what I'm going to do, I've got a black line for the first Fibonacci, and I'm going to use a red line for the second Fibonacci. I'm going to take it from the top here to the bottom. Now take note, it is in a downward channel, high, low, high, low, high on the purple line. I've got a lot of lines on here, but this is very important to look at this. If it breaks this approximately about 98 Rand, you can see it on the side, then the next high could be back at 105 Rand if it breaks up in this downward channel. That could be a confirmation of the channel starting to break up. But if this share continues to go down and it breaks plus minus this 23.6 and 95 Rand further down, the share could go further and fall back to this lows here of about 90 Rand. So the big question is it on the top of the cycle in the downward channel and can it go down, or could this be a start? So traders will actually wait for this 100 Rand to be broken if they want to trade it up to 105, or they will use this 95 Rand as an indication that this share can start falling down in this negative channel. Well, traders, enjoy your trading, and next report will be due on Wednesday morning.